You asked, we are going to deliver on this channel here, guys, of everything live here, everything Phoenix YouTube live. Guys, thank you for joining us here today. You asked for specific median and or average price points of what is happening with the prices across the Phoenix area, guys. And a lot of you, I'm getting a lot of comments here. And a lot of comments are like, well, the price points matter, which they do. 100% they do. And therefore, I think this is skewed, right? I feel like the prices should be collapsing, the market should be going down, and they just haven't yet, guys. So, spoiler alert, they haven't yet. Dot dot dot. Right? But there is this notion that because it's a lag measure, the median and or the average price points could be actually going down here soon, guys. So that's what we're going to look at here today. I'm going to break down both the median price points, which takes in consideration both the high end and the low end, and we're going to break down the price points themselves to see if there is a issue with pricing right now currently going on here in the Phoenix area, guys. This is important, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here. I really appreciate your time here today. My name is Kelly Cook. This is Everything Phoenix, our YouTube channel. Been around for over 4 years. We have curated so much data, so many good videos. I'm a little biased on our channel about everything living in Phoenix, guys. Our lives are geared towards market updates and they are geared towards development around the Phoenix area. So you're fully informed as to what is going on. Now, our normal videos that we release every single Saturday morning at 8 a.m. local time are about different things. They're about life in Phoenix, zip codes, neighborhoods, suburbs and cities, or beautiful homes that we are selling and marketing on behalf of our clients here, selling real estate for well over 20 years, guys. So thank you for joining us here today. We will not waste your time. We will give you meat and potatoes of good information on a lot of this stuff. So let's dive in. Now, if you're watching the replay, please comment below. Let us know your thoughts. We would love to hear what you have to say about that. All right. We got to jump in right now because why waste time? And we're going to see where we stand currently with the Cromford Market Index, guys. And you can see right here that we're at 81.2, guys. Last week, we were at like 82 or 83. It's going down. This is not good, guys. Again, I got to start this by telling you that that the balanced market is 90 to 110. If you watch this show, we always bring this up. The Cromford Report is the local economist, housing economist of choice here in the Phoenix area. And we're all about data over drama. We are data over drama here. And the balanced market is between 90 to 110 on the CMI, the Cromford Market Index. Okay. That being said, where does the demand lie? Where does the supply lie? You can see right now that the supply is not terrible. If it was in the red, that means we are oversupplied. Now it's slowly creeping towards that red because we have more and more properties coming onto the market. Demand, not good. We're at 80.5. Our demand is lower than our overall market index, which is one of the reasons why our overall market index, is not that good. What do you think about that? Comment below. What do you think? Do you think, or comment on our show here? We're live here, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't be the Wizard of Oz, right? Get out there and comment. I guarantee if your question is asked, someone else is probably wondering the same thing. Okay. So we're at 81.2. It is not good, guys. We are in March, which is usually a very strong month for Phoenix, and it's not that strong. If it was strong, the demand would be in the green, like it usually is around this time of year. So there's no sugarcoating. There's no beer goggles here, or rose-colored goggles, right, for the PG crowd here. And it is what it is, data over drama. We're going to give it to you straight. Now, we're going to move on here and talk about a few extra things when it comes to the Cromford Market Index, guys. Let's talk about foreclosures for a second. Foreclosures, this right here says the number of foreclosures pending in Maricopa County is very slowly creeping back towards the level it was in 2022 before the pandemic. The number started at 870 at the beginning of last year. It reached 1206 by the end of December and currently around 1,300 foreclosures. So let's look at this real quick in real time, and we'll show you our foreclosure chart here so that you guys can see if it's, like really bad or really not. What does 1,300 mean? Well, 1,300 doesn't mean much at all if you look at the perspective as to where the market was prior to COVID, prior to the Great Recession, okay? So this is pulling up real quick. I'm going to show you this because this is going to be good. But that right now, our foreclosures is not that bad. So everyone needs to just calm down. Now, this graph just pulled up, so I'm going to give you guys the graph right here. Foreclosures pending. You look at 2023, we are right here. We're about almost 1,300 for 2025. Now, going back to 2020, which was the start of the pandemic, we're at 1,800. Now, again, just for the fun of it, we go 2010. Whoa, we are at about 50,000. Okay, so again, it's all perspective. And that's why I wanted to show that to you because they're saying the same thing. Just relax because 50,000 is nothing compared to 1,300, albeit it is showing the trend going in really not the right direction, or maybe the right direction if you're a buyer, right? Okay, and you can see again really quick. We won't spend much time on this, but you see the different cities. If you live in one of these cities, you have a vested interest in them. You can see if they're trending down, if they're trending up, and if they are buyer, seller, or balanced market. Remember, 10 through 12, that's it, are balanced. These 5 are buyer markets. Maricopa maintains a strong buyer's city. And then, of course, above that are still technically sellers markets, but they're all trending really not the right way, except for old Avondale and Glendale doing okay. All right, now moving on here. That's foreclosures. We saw that. Now I'm going to show you the median sales price chart. Okay, this sparked a lot of controversy when I said a week or two ago that the median home sales price just hasn't changed. But Kelly, how can that be possible? There's no way. Median must be skewed because of the luxury home market, right? Well, maybe a little bit. But again, this is median, not average. Remember, the median is the full sample set. And you're taking the property or the number right in the middle, right? So if you have, a bunch of luxury homes that are selling at 5, 10, 15, 20 million dollars, let's call it, right? And they are skewing the average because of that, that definitely could get skewed. The median, a lot less likely to get skewed. So we're breaking this down because I understand, guys, listen, people act on emotion. I feel like, and I'm in the business, you probably feel like prices should be falling, like crumbling right now because of what's going on with the overall national economy. Oh my goodness, tariffs. And then you have, what's happening here in Phoenix and locally. And I just don't know what's happening. We have we have affordability issues. And so prices have to come crashing down, or at least come down a little bit, right? Well, you may not be wrong at the end of the day, but time will tell. And what do we know right now? Again, lagging measure here, but this is median price point. Right now, look at that line, guys. Now, we're gonna run through all of these. This is the median monthly sales price. We're at 466,030, and it is increasing. Now you go to monthly median sales price. We have all kinds of data here for you, right? Monthly median sales price by the calendar month, it's still going up. We go quarterly median sales price. It's still going up to 460. We have annual median sales price. Now this is all Maricopa County again, still going up. So quarterly, monthly, annual change. It's all plus. Here's the annual change right here, 4.1% year over year from last year at this time, guys. And 2024 was not a banner year for real estate by any stretch of the imagination. So the pricing of the housing market remains fairly resilient, but we're not done yet. Okay, that was a lot of data for median home price. Now let's break down some graphs. All right, so break down the graphs. You see the annual median sales price. Here we go. Now you notice at the top left it says weekly chart right up here, top left of my screen, weekly chart, weekly. So this is the one that will probably have the most movement, most recent movement, because it's weekly, not monthly, not yearly. Well, if you look at the weekly chart, we're at 450 on the annual median sales price, 450. Okay, right there. And it's, look at the pink line is held pretty steady. Now, let's go to the monthly chart for annual median sales price. Okay, we're pink right here. It went from 448, the most recent reading, 449,900. So actually went up a little bit on the monthly. Okay, lagging measure, more up. Okay, let's go to the annual median sales price. A little different chart here for a different look. But let's go to the top. And guys, you can see a little speck right there. Move my cursor. It actually went up as well. It went from 445 to 448 on the annual median sales price. But wait, we're not done yet. Let's dive a little further and look deeper into this. Let's go to the monthly median sales price. Okay. Now, if I show you this one here, this is the annual median sales price on a weekly chart. Okay. It's going up a little bit and holding kind of steady right here over the last several weeks. Now, let's go to the monthly median sales price on the weekly chart. Okay, we are getting granular, and look, a little chink in the armor. See this right here? Last week, we were at 465. This week, 460. Okay, now, if you take the same monthly median sales price on the monthly chart right here, look at this. It's showing it going up. Why? Because that's more of a lag. Okay. And then one more for you. The annual on the median sales price, okay, with the long-term chart, that shows it going up too as well. So this is the one chart right here that would show you that there's a little chink in the armor right there at 460, down from 465 just last week, because this is a weekly chart for the monthly median sales price. This is as granular as we can get, unless we did daily, and they don't do daily because that would be a lot of work. So there, for all the sky is falling people out there, the naysayers, right? By the way, if I was a naysayer, I would probably have a lot more views on YouTube. I'd probably make a lot more money monetizing my channel, honestly, because doom and gloom, it sells, right? It flat out sells. But I'm not doing that because I want to give you the data for you to decide, should I be a naysayer or should I be someone who has a positive, more outlook of what's coming down the pipe? You get to decide. That's the beautiful thing of this channel and this real estate show. Now, I did want to bring that up to you because everything is going up, 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 up. But the most recent poll data that could show any type of chink in the armor does show potentially a small chink in the armor right here. Okay, now let's break it down per price range. Price range is very important. A lot of people had requests on that in the comment section from our previous show. So we're going to look at the price range right here. This is the change in annual average price per square foot by list price range. Annual, okay? So year over year, guess, look at the 10 million range, guys. Wow, 10.9% increase in average price per square foot. Now, 7.5 to 10 went down 2.8%. And then, of course, 5 to 7.5 went down as well a little bit. But look at everything else, guys. Year over year, again, 2024, not a banner year by any stretch of imagination, not a good year at all, really. Values overall did go up in the Phoenix area. But, you know, we still had high interest rates. We still had all these issues and uncertainty and stuff going on. But yet the Phoenix housing market in terms of price per square foot, which leads to pricing overall of a property, was all positive except for 4 price ranges. We call them the middle of the road stuff, which is all people who primarily use financing and interest rates, right? Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Now let's go to this one here. That's more of a lag measure. This is more of a lead measure. This is the change in monthly average price per square foot by list price range. Monthly. This is monthly. Okay. Look at the 10 million, down 4.3. 7.5 to 10, down 13.2, guys. 7.5 to 10. There's not many homes in this price point, but it is getting hammered. Probably because the few homes that did sell in that price point took a little bit of a bath, I guess, if you will, right? Or not a bath, but maybe just chose not to hold out for a higher price. 1.6 negative. So the luxury home market on the average price per square foot is not doing what it normally does this time of year in terms of performing for a good run of the market. So luxury home owners right now, take note. You may have to price your home just a little bit more aggressive if you in fact do want to sell. Now, a lot of people in the luxury home market do actually put their home on the market, and if they sell for a little bit less, not a big deal. Or if they don't want to lose any money, they just say, you know what, we'll just wait till next year or whatever. They hold on to it because they don't have to sell in many cases, but some do. And so understand where we're at with this strategy. Okay, now everything else is still up, guys, month over month. Last month was not a good month. Last month was not a good month. Matter of fact, the Cromford report right here, a month ago, probably would have had this at about 88, still a buyer's market, so to speak, a buyer's market, but 88, not 81. And yet we're still in this arena right here, okay, of it going up month over month, positive price appreciation. Pretty crazy, right? Michael, what's happening? Do you see the prices of homes going down in the Phoenix area anytime soon? Well, that's a good question, Michael. It's good to see you again, by the way. And I tell you what, I do think that there's a chance that the trend of what you're seeing in this luxury home market right up here does continue or start filtering into these lower price points right here that are still currently month over month going up in home value. So there are a lot of niche areas. So I would definitely niche down on what area you may want to be in. And then we could obviously pull some data for that specific town, that specific suburb, or even zip code potentially to see where you're stand in terms of how it's performing, going up, going down. But here's the thing, guys. I think it's a good question because at the end of the day, we all want to know what happens in the next 6 months, 12 months, maybe 2 years. And I will say this, I think 2026 is setting up for Arizona, for Phoenix, to be a pretty strong year. Because I think you can't ignore all the job growth, especially with the higher paying jobs. You can't ignore that. and that's a real thing. And this year is going to be some uncertainty with tariffs and the overall economy, and how's the certainty of that going to play out. And I do think there's a chance that because of that, there's a pullback. Now, I think that rates are not going to come down that much, but they may actually drop towards the middle of this year, towards the third quarter of the year. And that happens, even down to six, like down to six. We're talking like we're in high sixes now. Down to six would be huge for most markets across the country. And I guarantee you, I know it'd be huge for Phoenix. It will get the ball moving for Phoenix. So, Michael, you're in Scottsdale, or that's where you want to potentially look. Yeah, I do think these areas right here, if I pull this graph back up, I do think these mid-range areas, so let's call it 1.5 down to 400K, I do think that's going to start to get slower and slower in terms of the price going up month over month, and that's going to start being probably a negative trend. I think the luxury home market is going to have an effect on that. And I think if you're seeing it in the luxury home market where people aren't as affected by interest rates, but they are affected by the stock market, which they kind of go hand in hand. So you can't have one without the other to an extent, right? Because a lot of these people who can afford a house like that have a vested interest in the stock market, a lot of stocks, a lot of bonds, a lot of something, right? And so that being said, their wealth or their purchasing power could be affected by the stock market, S&P going down a decent amount. And I think you're going to see a little bit more of that before you see, in terms of it being the trend that is going like down, before you see it getting better. So I wouldn't be surprised if prices do slide a little bit. I don't think it's going to be much, but a little bit more as we head through, let's say, August, maybe into mid-September. So I think there's a buying opportunity right now. I really do. Could it get better? Potentially. Is there a rush to go out and do it tomorrow if you're thinking about maybe buying in Scottsdale, Michael, or somebody anywhere else? I don't think so. But I think if you saw the house that you want to buy tomorrow, you shouldn't have any reservations about potentially pulling the trigger. I really think that is a good way to look at it. So that hopefully helps. But I do think, guys, again, we're going to talk about a few development stuff here in just a second. I do think you can't ignore those things that are happening with all the local economy here in Phoenix, and what's happening with job growth, the biomedical industry, the healthcare industry, the manufacturing semiconductor industries are going literally bananas here for Phoenix, which I am so excited to keep talking about because it's just a big deal for our local economy. Okay. All right. Darren, what's going on? Love the content, bro. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it, man. That means a lot. Spend a lot of time researching this stuff and try to bring you some good, hard-hitting stuff in 20, 30 minutes, and then get you back on your day. So I appreciate you saying that. I really do. All right, one more thing to look at here. All right, this is the listing success rate, because we talked about prices here, right? Prices for the annual average and the monthly average. See the difference there, annual, monthly. And then are the listings selling or are they not? If you put a house on the market in Phoenix right now, what's the percentage chance that it actually is going to sell? Well, it was down to 67% in December of 2024. You can see right there. It has now jumped up to 73%. So that is good. That is good. But it should this time of year. So it's not like that's like, oh, cool, the market's overperforming, because it's not. It's not. You look at where it was just, several months ago to a year ago, it was up to 82% as high as, right? And then, of course, you go back to 2022 when it was bananas, right? When multiple offers and everything, 93% of homes post-COVID were selling once they went on the market. And we know that to be true because there's multiple offers on everything. What you don't have right now is multiple offers on everything, not even close. And so if you're a buyer, you have the chance to dictate terms, which will help you get the most favorable monthly payment at the end of the day, honestly, okay? Because that's what it's about. All right, now we're gonna jump over here because this is interesting, okay? Arizona locals in top 15% of U.S. for best place to live study reveals, or Arizona locales, excuse me, not locals, locales, if I could read correctly, thank you very much. In the top 15% for U.S. for best places to live. Guys, where is that right there? Anybody know that picture? That's Tucson. Tucson gets a bad rap sometimes to us Phoenicians who think, Tucson people think we're kind of like high and mighty up here in Phoenix, but the reality is Tucson has some good things going for it, as well as some areas in Phoenix, of course, right? And so you have Kelly in the foothills, Udall Park, okay, and a few other places all in around Tucson here. That's according to the 2025 Best Places to Live in America report from Niche, an online platform that provides comprehensive profiles, rankings, and reviews of schools, cities, neighborhoods across the U.S., guys. Now, that's cool, Kelly, but what about Phoenix? I'm interested about Phoenix. I'm glad you are, because I'm interested about Phoenix too. Here's some good stuff for you guys. The Phoenix Metro Also, has prominent rankings in the state, including Camelback East. Where is that? Number 4, and Tempe number 8 as the best places for young professionals. If you're a young professional, listen up. Okay, you should love, or at least look at, consider Camelback East and Tempe as places that you would get a good lifestyle out of in terms of that. Now, Tempe also ranked number 1 for best suburb for young professionals, ahead of Scottsdale at number 2 and Chandler number 3, all in the same category, guys. So Chandler, Scottsdale, Tempe, kudos to you guys. Golf clap for you young professionals. Take a look at those places, right? And we love those places too, no matter what, for anybody, really. But young professionals, good stuff. Okay. Phoenix Metro rankings: Scottsdale number 3, 7, Tempe 11, 20. We're ranked as Arizona best suburbs to live, raise a family, respectively. Guys, here it is, guys. Let's just cut to the chase, right, Kelly? Come on, I don't have all day for you to blabber on here. So here we go. Best places for young professionals. Boom. Tucson, Tucson, Tucson. Hey, Camelback East. Where is that? I'm glad you asked. Here it is. There's the map right there, guys. There's the Biltmore. Here's the 51 interstate that comes down through here. Here's the Biltmore. Here's Camelback East Village. This whole area is known as, affectionately, Camelback East. You have the Arcadia Light area, some of Arcadia proper in here. You can actually zoom in right here. You can see what we're talking about. And where is that in conjunction to kind of the whole valley as a whole? I'm glad you asked, because it is very central, which is one of the reasons why it ranked so high for young professionals. They want to be in the mix of things, guys. And there you go. There's a red dotted line right in the middle of the valley in general. Okay. So that is that. Now, let me go back to the rankings, because I know the rankings are very important to everybody. Best places to live, or excuse me, buy a house. You have a few places around here in Arizona, but best place to buy a house, nowhere in Phoenix really made the cut. And here's why. Because Phoenix is a little more expensive to live in. Notice Flagstaff's not in here too, because they have a high median price point. So a lot of this is based on affordability, and we didn't make the cut according to other places across the state. Okay, best places to raise a family. Okay, we got Tucson. Tucson's just killing it on this report. Gilbert, yes sir. Gilbert's a great place to raise a family, and Ahwatukee Foothills, a phenomenal place to raise a family, guys. Just to make sure we point that out real quick on the map, Gilbert's down here. You can see it right there. Ahwatukee is right under on the south side of the South Mountain Preserve, right here, and it is a phenomenal place to live as well. Okay, a few more things. Best places to retire: Desert Hills up in North Phoenix, which is a great area, and then you have Paradise Valley, of course. Fountain Hills, of course, as well. You just got to be able to afford them, but hopefully by the time you're going to retire, you can do so, or at least some portion of that area. The top 5 cities to live in, according to the niche, are Naperville, Illinois, the Woodlands, Texas. Nothing against Naperville. My sister used to live there, actually. That's why I'm very familiar with it. Woodlands, Texas is cool. Cambridge, Massachusetts, Arlington, Virginia, and Irvine, California. Okay, a few more things, and we're going to wrap this up and get out of here for you guys. Workers updates. Okay, we're not going to worry about that. Talking about recession. People are like, oh my gosh, there might be a recession. And guys, there honestly probably will at some point here pretty soon. But what is a recession, guys? I would make the argument that a recession is defined as a negative loss of economic growth, or GDP growth, actually, 2 quarters in a row. I would argue that we have been in a recession since early 2024, even though we didn't have necessarily 2 quarters in a row of negative GDP decline or growth. So that being said, we probably going to hit some sort of quote unquote a recession this year. 6 out of 10 people believe that. But that's just a little sidebar. Back to Phoenix, and then we'll wrap this up. Affordability is shaping the Phoenix Metro's growth prospects. Here's how it's changing. Okay, nothing too earth-shattering here, guys. But did you know that during the same period, between 2013 and 23, the relative housing cost increased by 24.37%, even as housing supply increased by 15%. Okay, so let's talk about affordability. Obviously, is huge right now. And it's somewhat of a problem in the Phoenix area. Here's some metros that saw the sharpest growth over the last 10 years, but also, also has some cost of living that wasn't astronomically going up the same proportion. So that's cool. Affordability housing is a key to growth, and then some stuff there. Then we'll wrap this up here, guys. Homeownership picks up steam in East Valley cities, analysis shows. Okay, so guys, obviously we know that home ownership is huge across the valley, and these cities right here, Gilbert, Scottsdale, and Chandler and Mesa, all in East Valley, all had big increases of home ownership rates, even though prices did what? Went up. So that's still kudos to the area, because they're doing a good job. Now, across America, home ownership is on a sharp rise, especially in the Southwest. You got Gilbert, you got Chandler, you got Scottsdale, you got Mesa, all right there. as 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the report. So kudos to Arizona for making the list. I mean, dominating this list in terms of a state. So awesome there. And then last but not least, guys, we'll wrap it up with this. A growing force is emerging in home buying. Here's how the market has shifted, guys. This is cool. This is interesting, right? Demographics. Who would have thunk that in 2025, home buyers had never been older and never been more likely to be single or female. Guys, check this out. This is how crazy that it was just several decades ago. What was it here? That until with the American dream for most women. Okay, look at this. I also think the American dream has changed for most women. Washington said a few decades ago, women were more likely to aspire towards getting married and having children rather than pursuing a career. Certainly, for the better, this is no longer the case. Now, something about the equal. What was there was a law like in place. Like, I can't remember what. Here, right here, in '74, thanks to the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, women could buy a home independently in 1974. Before that, they couldn't get a mortgage or buy a home, apparently, right? I mean, this is wild, right? Since then, women have entered the workforce and become primary source of income for families, and they can fulfill the dream of home ownership, guys. This is really cool. So it's saying that now more than ever that older people and single people and or just women in general are the biggest sources or the increased biggest jumps of home ownership and experiencing the American dream, guys. So that's really, really cool. So that's kind of uplifting story, I thought, right? In terms of the housing market when, right now affordability is not so great and things of that nature. All right, here we go. Jessica, what's going on? Thanks for commenting. Here we go. Reventure Consulting on YouTube goes over 36% right now and goes over Arizona as well. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So Jessica, you can probably plug in your company or your channel, maybe. I'm assuming. I don't know. That's cool. I'm not mad at anybody, right? Everybody can go out there and look out for themselves. All good. But we're just going to give you the data here, guys, and hopefully you support and follow our channel. If you don't mind subscribing to our channel, liking us, we really appreciate it. We're going to wrap it up right now, 3 minutes early, and get you back on your day, guys. Hope you understood what was happening with the prices here in Phoenix, and don't let emotion get in the way of data or what it really is happening, what's really happening in the area, or no matter what topic it is. Don't let data be over drama, or drama. Don't let drama be over data. I think I said it right. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Subscribe to our channel, like us. We really appreciate it, and have a blessed Monday, and we'll see you next week. Keep it classy, Phoenix.